Born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia, Martin Luther King Jr. emerged as a beacon of hope and a champion of civil rights in America. This is the story of Martin Luther King Jr., the man who dreamed of equality and justice for all. Martin Luther King Jr., originally named Michael King Jr., came from a comfortable middle-class family deeply rooted in the Southern Black ministry. His father and maternal grandfather were both Baptist preachers. Raised in the bustling Black Wall Street of Auburn Avenue, young Martin received a solid education and grew up in a loving extended family. However, his secure upbringing did not shield him from the harsh realities of racial prejudice. At 6, he experienced the pain of segregation when a white playmate was forbidden to play with him due to attending segregated schools. This early encounter with racism left a lasting impact on him. In 1944, at just 15, King entered Morehouse College in Atlanta. A summer spent in Connecticut exposed him to a world where races mixed peacefully, deepening his hatred for segregation. At Morehouse, under the mentorship of college president Benjamin Mays, King was inspired to join the ministry, dedicated to fighting racial inequality. King's journey continued at Crozer Theological Seminary in Pennsylvania, where he was introduced to Mohandas Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolence. His eloquence and leadership qualities earned him the presidency of Crozer's student body, composed predominantly of white students. King then pursued a doctorate at Boston University, studying man's relationship to God and receiving his degree in 1955. While in Boston, King met Coretta Scott, and they married in 1953, eventually having 4 children. In 1955, as pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama, King was thrust into the national spotlight. Rosa Parks' arrest for refusing to give up her bus seat to a white passenger sparked the Montgomery Bus Boycott. King, chosen to lead the boycott, delivered a powerful speech that introduced the nation to a new voice for civil rights. "We have no alternative but to protest. We come here tonight to be saved from that patience that makes us patient with anything less than freedom and justice." Despite threats and violence, King's leadership led to the desegregation of Montgomery's buses after more than a year of persistent nonviolent protest. King recognized the need for a broader movement and helped found the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC, in 1957, providing a platform for civil rights activities across the South. His commitment to nonviolence and his charismatic leadership drew national and international attention. A visit to India in 1959 further solidified his belief in nonviolent resistance as the most potent weapon against oppression. In 1963, King led the historic March on Washington, where over 200,000 people gathered at the Lincoln Memorial. His "I Have a Dream" speech, delivered with prophetic passion, became a defining moment in the civil rights movement, emphasizing his vision of a future where all men would be judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 were significant victories, but King's work was far from over. He expanded his focus to address economic injustice and the Vietnam War, advocating for a Poor People's Campaign to tackle poverty. In April 1968, King went to Memphis to support striking sanitation workers. On April 3rd, he gave his final speech, eerily foreshadowing his fate. "I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we, as a people, will get to the promised land." The next day, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel. His death sparked riots and mourning worldwide, but his dream and his legacy live on. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life was a testament to the power of nonviolence and the relentless pursuit of justice. His vision of equality continues to inspire and guide the ongoing struggle for civil rights. Dr. King's dream of a better world remains a beacon of hope for all who seek freedom and justice.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right.